Archaeologists are finding supernatural artifacts around the world that should have never been found. The discoveries from ancient times often surprise us. Though relics left behind by ancient humans are buried, broken, and difficult to identify, some make us rethink our ancient places. Like that, archaeologists have discovered some and are still excavating supernatural artifacts that make us feel like they should never have been found. In today's video, let's dig into these. So subscribe for more such videos and watch till the end. Here we begin. A Verne high-angle battery. It is the derelict Victorian gun battery designed in 1892 at Dorset, the Isle of Portland in England. The Verne battery is situated in the Verne area, close to the Verne Citadel, Nicodemus Knob. It has been the second grade listed since 1993, and with this, the entire Verne Citadel has now become a monument under the Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Areas Act 1979. The battery was designed in 1892 as part of the coastal defense of Britain and is located in the disused Portland Stone Quarry in the island's northern end. To its north, at the highest cliff of Portland, is the Verne Citadel, which would have formed part of the impressive defense installation, protecting both naval shipping and merchant shipping using the Portland harbor. The guns were hidden from the naked view of any enemy ships. The Portland stone, brick, and concrete were used to design the battery, and positions were built by 6 guns, where 9 inches RML guns were installed at 70 degrees high point. After 1898, 2 pits were further added on the flanks. However, no guns were fitted, and the pits were used as observation points. The guns were used to traverse through 360 degrees and directly by positioning finding cells on either side, 4 at East Cliff and 2 at Priory Corner on West Cliff. The shells were stored in tunnel magazines, and the tunnels were roofed with grass and earth. 30,000-year-old artifact from the Chinese Stone Age. The stone artifact was an accidental discovery during the archaeologist analysis of the stone to unearth in 1980 at the Shudong Gold site. As per the research, the artifact is made up of limestone, measuring around 68, 36, and 23 millimeter. One of its cortical faces bears 8 lines that can be seen through naked eyes and engraved into the thick cortex. All the incisions are perpendicular to the long axis of the core. Also, 2 incisions are crossed with others in parallel lines. With the rightmost line, the incisions extend to the ridges, which is further constituted by the 2 surfaces. The Vertebrate Paleontology and Paleoanthropology Institute in Beijing Professor Xing Gao, co-author of the research paper, stated that the site had around 12 locales, ranging from the early late to the late Paleolithic period. The engraved stone artifact was discovered at locality 1 about 30,000 years ago. Also, they obtained the incisions as well as 3D images using digital microscope. After excluding the natural cracking, animal-induced damage, and trampling, they believed the incisions were made by intentional behavior. The straight shape of lines showing that it was incised over a short time without repetitive cutting, implying the possibility of recording and counting that time. It also indicates the possibility of a complex communicative system like language. A 2,600-year-old wine factory. Archaeologists have excavated new evidence of the overseas trade in wine by Phoenicians, which led to the discovery of the oldest ever wine press in Lebanon. The discovery shed light on winemaking by Phoenicians, the merchants who introduced the culture to drink wine, and whose influence lives on worldwide popularity. Around 5 miles from the south of Sidon, in a Lebanese coastal city, excavations revealed the well-preserved remains of the wine press used in the 7th century BC. It is the earliest and oldest wine press ever found in Phoenician homelands, corresponding to modern Lebanon. Various seeds showcase that grapes were brought there and crushed by trending feet in a massive basin made of plaster, holding 1,200 gallons of raw juice. The resultant was collected in a massive vat and then stored in pottery jars to ferment, age, and transport the wine. It was excavated along with 4 mud brick houses that were part of Phoenician settlements between the 6th and 8th century BC and were devoted to making wine for overseas trading. Some similar winemaking sites were also discovered on Israel's northern coast that once belonged to the Phoenician kingdoms of Sidon and Tyre. They didn't invent wine, as evidence of wine's existence was found 8,000 years ago in Georgia, but Phoenicians spread it throughout the ancient Mediterranean, along with innovations like glass and alphabet. Also, they introduced the drinking culture and different styles related to wine. The wine was their principal beverage for sacrifice. The Carnyx. As per Asterix's books, Cacophonix, the bard, was forbidden to sing because of his voice, which caused villagers, Romans, Normans, and even wild boars to flee. But Cacophonix used to play a sarnix, the slender trumpet-like long instrument decorated using an animal's head at the top and used by Celts in the last 3 centuries BC. When the 7 Carnyx were excavated recently, an archaeologist, Christopher Maniquet, got curious to discover what sound it used to produce that drove the entire Romans mad. In 2004, around 500 iron and bronze items, placed as offerings to the gods, were discovered around a 30-centimeter deep pit in Tintillac and were so damaged that they couldn't be used again. Around 40 segments were part of Carnyx and made it possible to restore a 1.8 meters tall instrument with a stylized boar head. Some pieces of this were also discovered in Scotland. It was more of a wind instrument, originated from the subfamily of brass instruments, and is played by the mouthpiece. Its conical shape resembles the soft brass-like horn, with a more muffled sound like a cylinder trumpet-like brass instrument. Unfortunately, it was impossible to play the instrument, so the archaeologists worked with instrument experts and conducted a depth analysis of the instrument. The study further stated that the resonance frequency of the instrument determines the playable note series, that is, the harmonic series. If any musician has the bass note, they could easily produce others by lip tension or modulating airflow. It had a lower bass note because of its length, but researchers found that the resonance frequency with the Carnyx copy were far from harmonic. One of the archaeologists, as per Guardian, said it is not a primitive instrument and was known for being powerful. Archaeologist Maniquet also believed that this is plausible since no one is sure how its mouthpiece gets connected to the tube. The village disappeared under a sandstorm. During the excavations at the Northern Atlantic subarctic in the Northern Isles of Scotland, archaeologists found the details of the disappeared Scottish ghost village that was abandoned after being buried in the sand over 300 years ago. The discovery also included mysterious people who dug out a new home that led the village to become the ghost one. The Scottish village, the settlement of Bro, with 4 houses, was situated in the southwest of the mainland. It was abandoned in the 1690s during the Little Ice Age, from 1300 to 1870. The encroaching sand deposits forced the residents of Bro to abandon the place. However, a new discovery has determined that some groups of people returned to the site where they dug out a new home. When archaeologists dug 6 feet deep, they found the main home of Bro settlement. The experts found many artifacts at the site, including pottery fragments, clay pipes, coins, animal bones, and elephant artifacts. The elephant artifacts were surprising as they were earlier owned by the wealthy Sinclair family, the leaders of the Bro, until they got abandoned. So, why did the people arrive at the ghost village? First, they returned and covered the submerged outbuilding into the living area. They also built a staircase to get over new sand dunes formed around the settlement to breathe a new life there. Archaeologists also explained that they returned after the original residents fled, and they would have had to climb out of the houses over a landscape that kept rising and then abandon the home until the sand reached its roof. It is still unknown why they did that, but this indicates the Bro settlement must have had value to someone. The village disappeared due to climate change when Scotland faced the Little Ice Age, from being 2.7 to 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit cooler than today. Dr. Gary Bigelow, an expert, believes that humans adapted these landscapes during the Little Ice Age. What do you think of these discoveries? Share your views in the comments below.